Hi, everybody. I wanted to give all of you an introduction to Ayurvedic nutrition. I've been getting a lot of questions about what Ayurveda is and how it mixes well with modern nutrition. So, Ayurveda is medicine that originated in India, and it takes a very holistic approach to health. It looks at everything from diet, exercise, sleep, stress, everything. And when you put that together with nutrition, you really do get a fully customizable plan for each and every individual. Because Ayurveda recognizes that there are no two people with the exact same imbalances. So you can't always treat everyone in the exact same way either. So, for those of you who don't know, I am a qualified nutritionist, an Ayurvedic health specialist, a senior yoga teacher, a health educator, and a wellness coach. So, diet is anything that is taken in from any field of perception through any sense of perception, any mode of mind, and any mode of intellect. This is a very powerful quote because it really does sum up the value of Ayurvedic nutrition, and that, yes, nutrition, you relate that back to food, but it's so much more than what it is that you physically eat. Your diet, and the word diet is so widely misunderstood, that diet isn't just what you eat, but it's also the experiences that you consume through all of your senses as well. And that is why I love Ayurvedic nutrition so much, is that it's not just about food, but it's also about your habits. It's about your lifestyle. It's about your stress, your sleep, and everything that makes up your entire experience of life. Now, if you're listening to this, or if you know someone who resonates this with, but you're likely thinking that there's a time for change. You follow me for a reason. You listen to what I have to say for a reason. And I work with those who feel like it is time for a change. You're feeling tired, lethargic, you get indigestion or bloated after eating. You don't have at least 5 different fruits or vegetables a day. You add excess amounts of salt or sugar to your foods and drinks. You often crave sweet and salty foods, or you don't even feel hungry, or you don't even enjoy food. These are some signs that there's a time for change. It's time for you to look at and assess your health. If your food shopping contains more packaged or processed foods than fresh fruits or vegetables, you consume high amounts of refined foods instead of wholemeal foods. So, for example, you have a lot of white bread rather than wholemeal bread, or you have a lot of white rice instead of brown rice. You have more food in your freezer than your fridge. Also, if you have more food in your pantry than your fridge or freezer, you're reusing heated oil. And if perhaps you're not having enough protein or no protein at every meal, these are, again, all signs that something needs to change with how you're eating, because how you're eating, your behavior, your habits, they determine not just your short-term health, but your long-term health as well. And then, so many of you may also be experiencing low energy levels. So if you're experiencing low energy levels, these are some potential causes. So lack of sleep, you have an impaired digestion. Remember, if you can't digest your food, you're not absorbing all the nutrients that you're eating. So which will then thereby lead to nutritional deficiencies. You may have been diagnosed with adrenal fatigue. You often eat heavy meals, or you don't even eat enough. If you don't drink enough water, if you have any sort of thyroid condition or underlying food allergies, but remember, not everyone has food allergies. If you have a weakened immune system, if you have too much caffeine or sugar, that leads to low energy as well. And you're under high amounts of stress. So how can Ayurveda help with all of that? Ayurveda can help because it takes the concept of doshas, which are different bodily humors or energies, and that has different functions within your body. And depending on your imbalance or balance of the doshas, you know where you need to balance and what kind of action you need to take. So there are 5 elements in Ayurveda: space, air, fire, water, and earth. These 5 elements come together to make up the 3 doshas of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So space and air come together to make up Vata. Fire and water come together to make up Pitta, and water and earth come together to make up Kapha. So what do they do in the body? So Vata, being of air and space, it controls all the movement, communication, and transportation in the body. Pitta, being of fire and water, it controls your entire digestion, metabolism, and transformation. And then Kapha, being of water and earth, because it's sticky and heavy, it's your entire structure, cohesion, and lubrication. So examples are Vata is your entire nervous system. It's your circulatory system. It's your colon, bladder, kidneys, legs, any movement, elimination portion of your digestive system. Pitta is your digestive system, but also includes your small intestine, your blood, the eyes. Now, eyes need light. Light is symbolic of fire. Kapha, remember, it's water and earth, so it's quite heavy, sticky, unctuous. It's your tissues, your joints, your neck, your chest, your head. It's what gives your body structure. Now, you can classify different Ayurvedic body types. In particular, I don't like to do this as much because it's not as straightforward. But if you were to think of it that way, just to help you understand the concept more, Vata people, because it's a lot of air and space, they're quite airy people. They're all over the place. They tend to be scattermined. They often tend to rush around. They're late for meetings. They always have too much going on because they need to constantly go from one thing to the next. And they're in terms of body shape, they tend to be a bit more on the slender side. Now, Pitta people, because of the fire quality, but also water, but mostly fire, they're very feisty and fiery, passionate people. They're the ones that cannot skip a meal. They love their food. They have to eat on regular times. If they have an opinion, they're very opinionated. They know what they want and they know how to get it. There's no stopping them. They are determined people, and they're about average build. Kapha people, because of that earthiness and the earth and water, so the heaviness of their quality, they are on average a little bit on the larger side. They don't necessarily have to be overweight, but they are sometimes on the larger, more rounded side. But they're the sweetest people that you will ever meet. They're slow starters, but they are committed people. They're reliable, they're dependable. If you need someone on your side, that's Kapha. They have the patience of the world, and they're often great healers as well. But you can be a combination of Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So you can't just look at someone and be like, oh, they're slender, so they're Vata. It doesn't work that way. You have to take their personality into account, their digestion into account. All of those factors take into play. Like if you have a Vata type digestion, it's going to be very all over the place. It's going to be very scattered. Some days it's great. Some days it's slow. Some days you have indigestion. Some days you don't. Pitta people, I mean, they can eat all day long sometimes. If you have a Pitta digestion in particular, you can constantly eat, but you burn through the food quite quickly. So again, it leads to nutritional deficiencies because your body doesn't always have time to absorb and metabolize the nutrients efficiently enough. Kapha people or Kapha digestions tend to be very slow and very heavy like. So you can eat the smallest amount of food and then you feel stuffed. So they're the ones that often have low appetites as well. Now, all three of those are signs of a digestive imbalance because you need that regularity in digestion. You need that consistency. You want to be able to eat every few hours. So signs and symptoms of imbalanced doshas. If you're a Vata imbalance, you may have dry or rough skin. You may suffer from constipation, general fatigue. You may get tension headaches. You don't like the cold. You may suffer from degenerative arthritis. You're underweight and may excessively worry or have anxiety. The signs and symptoms of a Pitta imbalance is that you get inflammatory skin diseases, rashes, psoriasis, adult acne, inflammatory bowel diseases, visual problems, heartburn, ulcers. You have excessive body heat. You may have premature graying or balding of the hair. hostility, irritability, and anger. And then signs and symptoms of an imbalanced kapha. You may have excessively oily skin. You may sleep excessively amounts. So that means you sleep more than 8 or 9 hours a night, and that sometimes still doesn't feel enough. You're lethargic. You may have mental sluggishness or dullness. You have very slow digestion. You're prone to sinus congestions or colds in general. You get nasal allergies, asthma, cysts and other growths, and you may even have obesity. So Vata, Pitta, and Kapha are the three fundamental principles governing physiological processes. When in balance, they maintain the body in good health. When out of balance, they are the three basic causes of imbalance, disturbance, and disease in the body. So how do you find balance? You have this concept of doshas. It may still be a bit confusing despite the introduction, but how do you find balance once you know your body type? Now, if you go into my Healthy Living with Varsha Facebook group, you will have access to a dosha quiz through there that which you can take. If you're not on Facebook, just send me a message and I'll send you a link to be able to take the dosha quiz. But how do you find balance? A healthy transformation requires you to actively seek change. It's not enough to just think healthy, but you have to choose healthy consciously as well. So I have the perfect healthy transformation program. Choose healthy, become healthy. So in my 2-month transformational program, we will cover a sugar detox. We'll go into engaging in mindful and healthy eating according to Ayurvedic nutrition. So we will apply the concept of the doshas and put it together with modern nutrition. And each of you, even though it's a group program, each of you will have the opportunity to integrate and really create your own ideal wellness plan. We will improve your digestion, incorporate a balanced and healthy lifestyle, make sure we get self-care, improve your energy, make the healthy choices, and so much more. Now, if you are experiencing highs or lows in energy, you need a nap or feel excessively tired, you've been diagnosed with PCOS, adrenal fatigue, or have type 2 diabetes, you suffer from digestive health issues, you want to improve your dietary and lifestyle choices, and if you're feeling stuck within your lack of having balanced health, you've tried so much and you're just not making progress, and you just don't know what else to try, then you really do want to look at my holistic program. Now, what you get in this program is that you get even a more thorough dosha assessment. So it's more thorough that only my one-to-one clients have ever seen, or my paid group coaching clients have seen. So this isn't available free anywhere online, but you do take a very thorough dosha assessment with myself. You will get meal plans. You will get workbook. We'll do weekly video lessons. So I'm presenting to you live every week with replays available as well. There'll be lots of journaling, and we're going to discuss all things related to food, lifestyle, and routine. So at the end of the 2 months, you really feel that you've transformed from where you are now, and you will be in the direction, if not have already reached where you want to be at the end of 2 months.